All right. Lynn told me I had 3 to 5 minutes on Thursday to talk about 9 days. Probably not going to happen, but anyways, they'd rather hear me speak anyways about feelings. So, he told me to kind of speak on kind of my testimony in Jamaica. It's hard to put in words, especially in 3 to 5 minutes, but you know how he preaches a lot on comfort, getting out of your comfort zone. Jamaica's going to get you out of your comfort zone. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. First thing you're going to start with is when you have to take a shower. It is cold. Very cold. But after about 2 days of it, you kind of get numb. It's just kind of, you're good after that. The night before we left, we all got together here. And if any of y'all know me, I own my own business. I live by this thing right here. I'm sorry. I think it's about 6:30, 7 o'clock that Sunday night. I dropped it off to my business partner, and it's like my whole body just like relaxed. And I could not wait to get to Jamaica. First day, we get up that morning. I wake up with an awful headache. It's like 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long week. And realize I didn't drink enough water. When they say drink enough water, they mean drink water 2 weeks before you go. I thought I drank a lot of water. Apparently I didn't. So I get up and there's nobody up. Everybody's sleeping. Even the 2 guys in my room that are snoring like you would not believe. Unbelievable. So I walk outside and the sun's just beating down. You can imagine Jamaica heat. Just beating down on me. And I hear this big buzzing drill sound. I look out there and Fabian's out working on the bus. Come on, help! I'm like, oh. I'm literally just in pain. No shoes on. So I go out there and I'm doing this for about an hour and a half, just hurting. And then Brother Donnie from New Hope comes out there. He said, you all right? I said, I don't feel good. Donnie gets me some Tylenol. I take that, and I was good after that. But I was like, this is going to be a long week. Then you start to notice every day of the week, somebody goes through the same thing on that case and everything. But one of the first places we went to, I've got notes here because I have a memory of a mosquito. So every night we got back to the house and stuff, I'd sit in my room and take a few notes on different things that we did. But one of the first places we went to was Longwood. Longwood is, several of the people, that's their favorite place to go to. Small little church. The town, I don't know how to describe it. The town's very narrow to me. It's very. And Lynn looks at me and Brother Donnie says, let's go. Well, Charles warned me before I went, said, be ready to just take off. So we took off. We're walking. And I don't do well. We just walked to a stranger's house. First thing we did is walk to a stranger's house. There again, out of my comfort zone. We did that for, I'd say a good mile and a half maybe. Get all the way back, realized I got brand new shoes on, got a huge blister for the rest of the week on my feet, so didn't wear those shoes anymore. But to be welcomed like they are there, could you imagine in your neighborhood right now, not knowing your neighbors, walking up to their house and then welcoming you in? Is it going to happen? Do you really think it's going to happen? Do you get nervous doing that? In Jamaica, it's not like that. I had a lady tell me one day, we were walking, I was walking back to the dock, she said, we don't hurt anybody, we don't kill anybody. She said, we love each other. This is all we have, you know. These are people that haven't left their house in probably 35 years. They're right there. They stay right there where they're at. One of my fondest memories of Longwood is the second time we went there, and Lynn joked around with us last Sunday night that as soon as we got there, David got off the bus, and David said, oh, I'm gone. I took off walking. At that point, no, not scared anymore. So I went down there, and that afternoon, that's like the 4th or 5th time I walked down this one little strip, and Amanda and Jamie, you were with us, weren't you? Sam B. Somebody else was with us, I think, too. I don't remember. Somebody else was with us. And we're walking down. I took them all the way down where we've been walking, meeting all the people and stuff like that. And we're walking back. We look over to the right, and this little old lady, she's trying her best to get up this little driveway to us. And she doesn't have a cane. She has a PVC pipe. That's what she's using as a cane. So we walk to her and go talk to her. And I start looking at her legs. Her legs are so swollen. Her knees, my fault. Her knees are so swollen. She has so much pain from the knees down. She has taken ace bandages wrapped above her knee to get rid of that pain, but she was losing all blood in the upper part of her thighs. It's the only thing she could do is fix the pain. A simple 2 knee braces you could buy at Walmart for, I don't know, $5 or $10. Cures her just like that. And that's what Dr. Bruce took her later on. We took Dr. Bruce down there to meet her and to her home and stuff. But we asked her, is there anything you need, anything you want us to do with you? She said, I don't have a husband. My husband's gone. My son's gone. I believe someone else she said was gone too. I can't remember. She said, but I have God. And it makes me think how selfish we are here because we don't have one thing in our life. We forget the most important things in our life. And that's what she was happy. We all stood around and we held hands with her and prayed with her. And she talked and talked and talked. And I think we walked back and I said, I didn't understand one word of that prayer, but I know God was there with us. He was there with us. I'll try to wrap this up. One more place I got to talk about. I don't remember which day we went to, which y'all like to call Rocky Top. Woo! It's Rocky Point. Every town we go to, there's an aura you feel in this town. You can just feel the feelings there. First time I went to Rocky Point, I'm going to be honest with you, I could care less I ever went back there again. Something about it just did not feel right when we got there. I don't know if I was in a bad mood. It was hot. It was really hot that day, the first time we went. And what's Lynn do? Oh, over there, he's not Brother Lynn. He's Pastor Scott. So you hear that a lot when you're over there. Pastor Scott, Lynn says, come on. Takes Donnie and I. We're going through a little, and Charles shaking his head. He knows about Rocky Point. We start walking through the little neighborhoods and things, and we're talking about scary. It's scary. There's my comfort zone again. We get to the little strip area, which you can see the ocean. It's the only time we go to. It's really on the ocean, and it's like we're in a saloon. It's like this little narrow path right through here, and I feel like we're about to go up against the devil, pretty much. Lynn made a quote saying, "If the devil had a vacation home, it's in Rocky Point, because that's where he's living." And we're walking. I mean, you can just feel the evilness surrounding us. And you got 3 whiteys, is what they call us over there, walking down there. They know what we're there for. They respected us. Didn't disrespect us, anything like that. But I can tell you how evil this little town is. We walk out to the ocean, and there's fishermen coming in on the big buoys or whatever you want to call it, boats, and they got huge coolers. So Lynn goes over there and says, "Hey, what do y'all got in there? You got lobster? Can we see them?" Yeah. One guy takes something. He goes around the other way. He wasn't looking at. We're sure it's something illegal, weapons or drugs or something like that they smuggle. That's how bad this town is. In saying that, we go back there Sunday morning, and I'm sitting there going, I find out that a couple days before, I said, where are we going for Sunday service? He said, oh, we're going to Rocky Point. And all I keep hearing about is how great Rocky Point is. What's so great about this place? So we go back. And I think we had 2 buses. Well, I was on the smaller bus that day. And we get there, we get out of the bus, and we walk in. Fabian said, come on in there. We go into church, and there's probably 30 to 35 children in this church. And there's one sister up preaching to them. And she says something. She walks down the aisle, starts talking to them and to a few of the kids, and said, stand up, or raise your hand, I can't remember which one she said, if your mama knows you're here right now. And maybe 6, 7 of the kids' parents said their parents knew they were there at that time. That speaks volume for those children. That tells you how much the gospel needs to be spread in that town right there. The parents have no clue. They don't care. They don't believe. But the children do. And she told them several times, she said, you are never too young to serve God. Don't let anybody tell you that. And that got me thinking. Of course, I ended up getting up that day and talking. I think I might have cried at that service, I think. But it got me thinking. I remember when I was about 20, was 28 when we got married, wasn't it? Yeah, that sounds about right. We dated for several years, and I remember I told myself, you'll never get married. You know, your dad was a failure at marriage, your brother failed at marriage, and things like that. 2008, we get married. Well, there goes that comfort zone. Got out of that one. I'll never have children. I won't be able to respect a kid to have a child. 2010, we have a child. And I'm thinking everything's great. Everything's complete in my life. But something was still missing. And I got thinking, what she said, you're never too young to serve God, but you know what? You're never too old to serve God. And I used to think it was too late for me. It's not going to happen. And it was September 17th, 2013. Driving down the road one morning, 5:30, when something hit me. So you need to wake up. Stop being a part-time Christian and be full-time. God's got too many part-time employees down here. Am I correct? We need to step up and be full-time leaders for Him. Okay? Whatever it is in your life that you can't get out of that comfort zone, you don't know what it is, find it. Talk to God. The best way to talk to God is prayer. Find your time alone with God and pray. But don't wait for Him to tell you what you need to do. Step out and find your own place. Don't wait for Him. Remember that. And I got one more last place I got to talk about real quick. Went to the infirmary. I've been dreading that since the day I said I was going to Jamaica. I don't do well in that kind of stuff. We get there and it's just, you know how when your world's just spinning, going so fast, you don't really know what's going on. That's how I felt when we got there. We're just jumping off, we're unloading lumber and everything like that. So we finally, Sam B was with me here, thank goodness. And don't ever say, older people, you can't learn from the young ones, because you can learn from the young ones too. And he and I walk up to one building, and he looks at me and goes, "You okay?" I said, "I'm not ready for this." I said, I don't know if I can handle this. And we were there for about 15 seconds. All of a sudden, this nurse comes running outside and points at me, "You, here." I'm like, oh, no. I said, "Sam, you're going with me." So we run inside there, and I have no clue what I'm about to do here. Okay. There's a little old lady. She slid all the way down her bed. She probably weighed 85 pounds, something like that. And she just needed help moving her up. So we move her up, and at this time, I'm like in a tunnel. I don't want to look around. I don't think I can handle this. We move her up, and you couldn't help but turn around and look at what's around you. And it's so sad. A lady behind us had just passed away, covered with a sheet over her head. But these are people who are lonely. Their family wants nothing to do with them. They can't handle them. They don't want anything from us but us to hear them. They want to tell their story. They want you to tell your story. And that's really all Jamaica wants. They want to learn from us. We need to learn from them. And don't ever, ever let somebody say, Jamaica needs us. Because we need Jamaica just as bad as Jamaica needs us. And we got to, this was Sonia's 4th time going. Every year I hear about this. Michael, you want to post Mr. Churchill's picture? I hear about Mr. Churchill every year. This is Sonia's, I think it's probably her best friend over there. It wasn't for me, And I remember right before then I was speaking with the Mr. Billy. And Sonia comes yelling at me, "David, get down. I said, "Hold on, Mr. Billy's singing this song for the 4th time to me." He kept singing it over. I still don't know what this song was, but he sang it 4 times. Every time I walk away, come back, he's singing it for me again. But she said, "You got to meet Mr. Churchill." Mr. Churchill's way down at the far end. And I walk in there, and he's got the biggest grin on his face. And a lot of them have a lot of mental issues and things like that. Mr. Churchill, I don't know exactly what his health issues or anything like that. He can't get out of the bed. He's in a diaper. He can't walk. He literally lays in that bed right there every day. He has a little radio. He listens to his Jamaica radio over there. But all the people in his room get so mad they don't want to listen to his music anymore. So Sonny said, we're going to buy him a little MP3. We get an MP3 player, a little headset so he can listen to him. He thought that was the greatest thing in the world. But again, he looked at me and Sonny. We sat there and we prayed with him. We talked to him for a long time. I didn't want to leave him. We had to go work at the orphanage. I didn't want to leave. I want to stay there with Mr. Church all day. I realized what all the good things she said about him. But again, God is good, is what he said. I forget how many children he has, but he has a son and a daughter who live less than, 10 miles from there. Hadn't seen any of them in probably 10 years. His daughter came back a few years ago. She came for money and left. That's all she wanted. So think about that. This kind of stuff goes on right down the road from us too. Okay? These are little things that we can do as a church as a whole in Jamaica to help serve, and just listen to these people and talk with these people. So in conclusion, see, I didn't cry. I'm doing well. Kept it in. I've already had a couple people ask me, so if I was to go, what should I bring? Well, there's several things. Sunscreen, bug spray, what was the other? There was one more thing, two more things. I can't remember what the other thing is, but the most important thing, Mark, can you post that other picture for me? There's a fanny pack. You can never do wrong with a fanny pack. Let me tell you this, okay? Dr. Bruce takes a lot of grief for wearing a fanny pack, okay? The guy has everything in there. So I was like, you know what? I don't want him to feel alone. I'm taking my fanny pack. I had everything you could imagine inside this thing, but I believe a roommate of mine and a pastor of ours gave me a lot of grief for this fanny pack that I had. I said, you don't even know what I got in here. Who was my first patient? Tuesday morning we wake up. Would you like to answer that for me, Lynn? I believe it'd be a Leonard Scott. Was my first patient. Every morning, believe it or not, was my first patient that needed something. You were my first patient. I still got 15 minutes ago. Battery went dead. But in conclusion, I'm on a serious note. If you're thinking about going to Jamaica, don't let anything hold you back. Don't let stepping out of your comfort zone hold you back. Rip off the Band-Aid and just do it. I'm telling you right now, I can't wait. I wish we were leaving next week, to be honest with you. I can't wait to go back. It will be a yearly thing for my family, I hope, if everything goes well. But don't let something little set you back saying, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's not money they need, which money helps, but just going over there doing little things. If you got any questions about it, feel free to ask me. I can tell you a lot more stuff. Lynn, anybody else can tell you, but there's so much stuff we can do. If you got small children and want to go, send them. If you can't go, we'll take care of them, I promise. But if you got a teenager that hasn't been, Lynn said the other night, $1,200 is nothing from the experience that they're going to get. I watched my youngest nephew go from a boy to a man in Jamaica. So I'm telling you right now, don't let anything hold you back. Thank you.